Hi love, we are gonna go ahead and get into the best of the best products that I recommend for periods, PMS, and fertility. I am so often asked, what do you recommend for that? What do you recommend for this? And so I wanted to create my ride or die video to really share it with you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and kick this off with period care. People love to ask me, what pads do you use, tampons do you recommend, and all of that. And I have to be fully transparent with you. I do love the Honey Pot Co. I do love Cora, but honestly, when it comes to period care, I reach for two things fairly frequently. The first thing I reach for are actually period panties that look like this. These are from the brand Madi Body. They are the 24-hour heavy overnight pair, and I wear these in the evening. So this is what I like. I have had these ones for 4 years. I have never had an issue with any type of leakage. I specifically get the heavy overnight 24-hour pair just because of comfort and because I don't want to have to think about it. While I don't personally have a heavy flow, I just love the fact that if I did, I would be protected. So with that being said, that is what I wear overnight. Overall period care, what I like to wear throughout the day is actually a menstrual cup. Now I have two different cups here. This is the salt cup and this is the honey pot cup. What I like about the honey pot cup is the fact that it is tulip shaped and you can kind of just pop it in. And I love to wear this on days where I find that I have a bit more of a moderate to light flow. Whereas on day 1 and day 2 of my period, I reach for my salt cup. This is the size number 2. I have had size number 1, but I moved up to size number 2 when I noticed that I was flowing a little bit heavier and changing a little bit more frequently. What I love about both of these cups is the fact that they're actually really, really comfortable and they have yet to fail me. So that is what I do for period care. It is what I recommend and it is what I love. Now let's go ahead and get into fertility, because if you are trying to prevent or promote pregnancy, I have things to recommend. So first, my go-to app is the thermometer app. That is what I use to track my menstrual cycle. When it comes to tracking my basal body temperature, I like to use thermometers from Thermometer. So I have this thermometer, which this is their Bluetooth one. I believe it was about $35.99 on Amazon, but as you can see, it literally tracks your temperature and will connect right to your phone. I also have this one from them. You cannot see your temperature on this, but you'll have the app open and the app in this connect, the Bluetooth connectivity, I really like. But on days where maybe I'm traveling or something like that, I always have a spare with me. And this is just like a regular thermometer that you can get. There's nothing special and crazy about it, but those are what I like for thermometers. Now, if I were trying to promote pregnancy, when trying to conceive, what I would actually take is this prenatal from Moon. So this is designed for preconception, prenatal, and post-conception, postpartum. And the reason I would take this is because it is targeting all of the different aspects of trying to conceive, conceiving, and then caring for your body post-conceiving. And I think that that's something that often you don't see on the market, is something that can help you in each stage of pregnancy. You mostly just see like a prenatal one, but you hardly ever see something that's helping someone prenatal during conception, right? During their pregnancy, and then also postnatal and postpartum. So I really love this for that. Again, this is from Moon. Now that's the fertility stuff. Let's go ahead and actually get into the books that I recommend, because if anything, I want you to be educated and empowered, regardless if you are reading one of my guides and hopefully my book one day soon, or you are reading something else. I just feel like knowledge is power, but more specifically applied knowledge. And so these are the books that I recommend. And I'm actually gonna go in order of like ride or die, most important. No matter what anybody says, this book called Taking Charge of Your Fertility by Toni Weschler is my favorite resource. It is the most impactful, whether you are just trying to learn about your body or perhaps you are interested in becoming a fertility awareness educator or something along those lines. This book is just such a great resource, and it is something I come back to almost every single day. And it's not because I'm necessarily looking for answers. I just find it so interesting, and I just think it's like, I don't know what kind of student you were, but I am like a total nerd. And so this book just, it allows you to just nerd out, and I freaking love it. Okay, the next book that I definitely love, and after taking charge of your fertility, the next book I would recommend is called The Period Repair Manual by Dr. Laura. And I think the reason I love this book so much is because it closes so many loops in such a concise way. So often you can have a lot of questions about periods or hormones or irregularity, and you really want to have something on hand that can just answer a question for you. This book is that. I just love the way that it's written, and it's written in a way where it's almost coming from a perspective of a doctor who gets it. Like, she gets what her patients are experiencing. And I think often we find that people have really difficult relationships with their physicians, and I just love that Dr. Laura does such a great job of like getting you, but also educating you and like reminding you like what you're capable of. So I would definitely recommend this book, The Period Repair Manual. From there, I would then get into my field guide, the book that really transformed my entire relationship with my period in the beginning, which is Woman Code by Elisa Vitti. Now, you may be familiar with her other book, In the Flow, and I know everybody loves it, but I'm going to be honest with you, this one, in my opinion, is so much better because it is so straightforward and to the point. In the Flow is a good book, but I feel like it's very sciencey, and if you're not somebody interested in the science, that book might not be for you. Whereas this one is like that field guide, like your resource. And at the start of my journey, this is what really helped me transform my cycle. And so it would be remiss if I did not mention this book. From there, I would recommend the book Beyond the Pill by Dr. Jolene Brayton. The reason I love this book is because it really helps you understand how hormonal birth control, but specifically the pill, is impacting the body, whether it be the combination pill or the mini pill. And I feel like those are two of the most common things people take when they're trying to prevent pregnancy or correct their hormonal acne or balance their hormones, which we know it doesn't actually do those things. I just really like this book, and I guess one of the things I really like is how interactive the book is and how action-oriented this book is. My final book recommendation is for those who have perimenopause or menopause and really want to understand that, like, I would argue 38 and up reproductive health. The book is called The Hormone Repair Manual by Dr. Laura. Now, I have not taken a lot of time to read through this. However, from what I have assessed, it's written very similar to the Period Repair Manual, but for people who are dealing with perimenopause and menopause. It literally is every woman's guide to healthy hormones after 40. That is quite literally what the book says. It talks about second puberty, it talks about perimenopause and like a tipping point, it talks about testosterone and insulin and weight gain, and these are issues that people often share with me in general, but especially as they're navigating like that 40 and up club. So I really wanted to make sure I put that in there. So those are my books and the recommendation and the order. Okay, now let's get into the supplementation, because this is definitely everyone's favorite topic. Okay, so I love red raspberry leaf tea. Red raspberry leaf tea and the book Woman Code is literally what helped me have my first pain-free period. I drank 8 to 12 ounces of red raspberry leaf tea every single day for 30 days straight. And I ate in sync with my cycle, and that single-handedly transformed my entire period. It is literally the reason why I do the work that I do today, and so I have to recommend this. Now, red raspberry leaf tea has an alkaloid in it called a tannin, or it has something called tannins in it. It's very antioxidant rich, and it can really help decrease prostaglandin levels. And prostaglandins are those really annoying things that cause the uterus to expand and contract, but more specifically leads to like a lot of cramping. And so red raspberry leaf tea, she is my first love. My second love and my most recent has been sweet bay leaf. Now, what I really like about this is, first, I prefer the taste of sweet bay leaf over red raspberry leaf. I'm not even gonna front. It does have a hint of sweetness to it, which I have a sweet palate, so it just does something to me. But I love the way that this helps to not only regulate your actual flow, like, and get the blood out of the body, it helps get more oxygen into the bloodstream. And so I find that I really, really like this, especially in the second half of my cycle. So there is that. Another thing that I really love, and I feel like this is probably what you've been waiting to hear me talk about, is what I would take if I did have a painful period, and what I do take even though I don't have a painful period. So the day before my period, the first day of my period, and the second day of my period, I do preventative maintenance just to ensure that I don't get any cramping or bloating or anything like that. And I take the PMS and period support vitamin from Semaine Health. I'm pretty sure you have heard me talk about this before. Oh, this is a brand new bottle. That's how you know I haven't been taking it much. But this is what the capsule looks like, and I freaking love this. It is made of 9 incredible plant-based ingredients, and it truly is doing what it says it does. So it says it reduces cramps, lessens bloating, and it boosts your mood. And guess what? It's clinically studied. It's been third-party tested to actually do these things, and I swear by this. Now, I personally take 2. I kind of just do it as it's instructive. If I'm being honest with you, I take 2 the day before my period, 2 the day of my period, and then 2 the second day of my period. Another thing I really, really like for managing period pain is this drinkable multivitamin from Maria Wellness. It's called the PMS Elixir. I like this because it tastes like lemonade. I also like this because it has a lot of micronutrients and minerals. And as I have grown and really come to understand more about achieving optimal health, the importance of micronutrients and minerals when it comes to cellular health is something people don't know enough about. Yet I've noticed that this has been really supportive in my journey. So when it comes to cellular health, you know, people always talk about like, let's balance these hormones, but in order for your supplements to work and do what you need to do in order to achieve hormonal harmony or balanced hormones, your cells need to be properly nourished. And in order to properly nourish your cells, yes, you need your protein, healthy fat, and fiber, but also your micronutrients and minerals. So that's where this comes in. I think I said how it tastes, but it tastes like lemonade, and it's definitely one of those things where if you don't like to take capsules, this is going to be your besties. Also, just a note on the capsules from Semaine, you can break them apart and just pop it in and still get a lot of the benefits. Now, this is what I take for overall metabolic and hormonal health, I suppose. It's the daily from Semaine. It is said to increase energy, stabilize your mood, and reduce your cravings. And I can definitely speak to the energy part because I always feel like I have endless amounts of energy. And what I really like about this is it helps people with metabolic health. So yes, it's helping your energy levels, but it's also helping with your thyroid and your insulin, which not a lot of people are thinking about. So if you're one of the girlies who's dealing with an autoimmune condition, like Hashimoto's, or perhaps you're dealing with something like PCOS, this would actually be really, really incredible for you. And I should note that the PMS and period support supplement from Semaine is definitely amazing for you if you have like something such as fibroids or pelvic inflammatory disease or even endometriosis. The 2 of the founders, there's 3 founders, but 2 of the founders have endometriosis, and they created this specifically for that. So the last thing I'm going to share with you is what I take for supporting my gut. Okay, a pre and probiotic from Semaine. I have not gotten my full-size one, and yet I am dying to get my hands on it. But yeah, I digress. So what I love about this is the fact that it is very gentle, and it is also incredible for people who have pre-existing conditions. So if you already know you have a hormonal imbalance, if you're already taking medication, if you're on hormonal birth control, this is one of those things that is really safe for you to take. And of course, it is clinically studied. It supports the microbiome, it soothes your intestines, reduces your bloating, and it supports your immunity. Now, one thing I really like about this is that it has psyllium husk as well as ginger. Ginger root is what's going to calm the stomach and the bloat. The psyllium husk is going to help feed the good bacteria, and then it's also going to help introduce some things to fight bad bacteria. So that is what I love. Now, like I said, these are my ride or die products. These are products that I have taken for an extended amount of time or done an immense amount of research on. So I really hope that this video has been supportive to you. These are a few of my besties. Feel free to go ahead and shop my recommendations, and please use my discount code. Yes, I do make affiliates, but I also am one of those people who just loves a good, I love to shop and save. So if you are like me, go ahead, use those discount codes. And as always, love you, Mina.